Together with American songwriter, we had the chance to talk to Andrew from No Love for the Middle Child.
Adam was able to talk to Andrew on the phone, and I'm a huge fan. He has a new EP out, Run for Cover.
Make sure to check out our YouTube page and Facebook page at Bringing It Backwards, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Bringing Back Pod.
We'd appreciate your support if you follow and subscribe to our podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We're Bringing It Backwards with Andrew from No Love for the Middle Child.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your day going?
Pretty good, man. How about you?
It's good. Just at the studio now. I'm about to walk out.
Oh, okay. Big day, huh? You got your record coming out tonight, huh?
Yeah, man. Finally, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let me see here. I'll step out so the music isn't fire.
Your first name's Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to make sure.
No, I don't know if people call you that. Or do you have like a shortened version of it that you use, or?
People call me Andrew. Yeah,
okay.
It would be funny if I introduced myself as, I guess, like if I had to say something, I would say middle child too. Like if I had to do like an artist thing, but I've just found myself saying Andrew.
All right, cool.
And then if they ask,
got it.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Right, exactly. Right on, man. Where are you originally from?
I lived in Philly for a lot of my life, but I was born in Ohio.
Oh, really? What part of Ohio? I have family from there.
Columbus.
Columbus.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm from Columbus.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I've a family that lives in Columbus, but my majority of my family grew up in Elyria or like Cleveland area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I know
So,
a bit
I don't
about
remember
Ohio.
Columbus too well.
Okay.
You probably know way more than me because I lived there probably, I think, the first 2 years of my life. So like, born there, but definitely not raised there.
Sure. Then your family moved to, you said, Pennsylvania?
I think Washington State first. We moved a bunch. Like my dad was in the Navy, but I've been in Philly for the last now I'm in LA, but I was there for a majority of my life.
Right on. How'd you get into music?
It was like a culmination of things, I guess. I remember my dad, we all took one guitar lesson, my dad, my brother, and I, and we all quit the same day because we didn't like it.
All with the same teacher?
Yeah, dude, it was like a group class. I mean, we were doomed from the start, honestly. I don't know how that was ever supposed to blossom into something. But yeah, we all quit because we couldn't figure out how to play a chord. And so we just had guitars lying around the house, and my dad used to pretend to play Willie Nelson songs. So when he died, I kind of just saw the guitar there and was like, yo, I should pick this up. And then, Tony Hawk was a game I played a lot, and that had like the best soundtrack ever.
Oh, dude, totally.
And yeah, so all that stuff. And I guess a little before then, I remember in Shrek, there's that monkey song, I'm a Believer.
Oh, yeah,
I remember there's this little keyboard. I started like playing that when I got home. Like I didn't know how to play piano, but I was playing it or something, my mom said. So she got me lessons.
Oh, cool. So then you picked up piano lessons.
Yeah, I think that was first. So I quit the guitar long before I started piano. And then I just revisited it when I was like, I need to learn a cool instrument ASAP.
How old were you when you picked up the guitar?
I remember it was like 5th or 6th grade, whatever age that is. I don't want to sound like I got held back 10 times.
Right. Yeah. Okay, about 6th grade. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like, so you picked up the guitar like middle school era, and then did you start like bands at your school, or were you jamming with your friends?
Yeah, I started one in 6th grade. Yeah, immediately in a band. It was the classic like child band where, the bass player wants to be Flea from the Chili Peppers, the drummer wants to be Lars Ulrich from Metallica, and then you all get together and it's like, we could never make a song together.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do you do that?
Sure. All these different influences.
One person thinks it's a funk band. Yeah. It's like one person thinks it's funk, the other person's in a metal band, and the other person, I was just trying to play punk. I was trying to play punk rock songs.
Yeah. So from that band, did you just, form different bands once you got to high school, or how did that go?
Yeah. So it was like kind of from that band, it was kind of like two worlds of music. Like I was playing in orchestras for cello, and I was doing jazz piano. And then rock bands. And then for some reason in 10th grade, I was in this like Jeff Buckley style kind of folky band. I have no idea why. And then that turned back into like punk music, and there was another folk band, and it eventually led to me making beats.
Right on. Right. Were you always like the songwriter in the band, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't sing. I didn't start singing until maybe end of high school or out of high school.
Okay. And did you go to college or anything for music, or what was like next for you?
I was going to.
Okay.
So after high school, I had this full ride scholarship for cello.
Oh, wow.
To Millersville, and 2 weeks before going, I decided not to go because it didn't feel right to pursue that
cello.
kind of music.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, I really like using it all the time, but I don't know, that world of I really like writing stuff, so that's not something you always do when you're in that world.
Right.
You can get wrapped up in, you got to practice like an hour a day. You know what I mean? It's not songwriting heavy or piece writing. It's a lot of practice and staying sharp. So I found myself wanting to do something else, and that's when I just didn't go.
You didn't go. Were your parents pissed at you for that, or were they just like, okay, go ahead, do what you're gonna do?
My mom, I guess, understood. I mean, she was like, go to community college, so I went there for business. But yeah, she wasn't mad or anything. She understood.
That's good. Yeah. And then you went to community college and just kept playing in bands?
Yeah. Yeah. I just like go on tour during classes and then almost fail because I wasn't there ever.
Oh, wow. So you're already touring and stuff.
Yeah. One band I was in, we would book like those DIY basement shows and just like play in people's basements, and that would give you enough gas money to get to the next place. Or we did Warped Tour, like I think a show or two. I remember one was in Maryland. Like just like stuff like that, I mean, I don't think we had a direction really.
Sure.
But we were doing stuff, I guess. We were trying to figure it out.
Yeah. You had the passion for it, at least at that point. And
right, yes. Yeah. That's how I know I love touring.
Right. After doing it, you're not sick of it yet. So that's funny.
Yeah, I figure if I can make it through a basement tour where I sleep with my hoodie on, with my boots on, not moving on a random floor, then I'll be good in the hotel.
Yeah, totally. So when did No Love for the Middle Child come about?
I would say last maybe June or July.
Oh, okay. So this is when I
met my manager. Yeah.
Okay, so prior to that,
and the first song.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the first song was November, but we started it in July or June.
Okay, so you're in that band. You did Warped Tour. You did some touring, and then what was the next step for you musically? Was that when you moved to LA?
No, I kind of moved to LA late. So after that, I got really into making beats because I played all these instruments. A lot of my teachers were saying how I would never master anything. The jack of all trades thing. Like, you don't focus on just one instrument, you'll never be a master at it.
Right.
And the more rap I was listening to, I was naive on what the beat making process was, but I heard a bunch of different instruments. And I was like, these producers are playing every instrument in the whole song. Mm-hmm. That has to do what I'm meant to do. Little did I know that, like, there were arpeggiators out there and synths that would just emulate stuff, and no one really knows how to play music, but it's what got me into, I guess, that world. Mm-hmm. So I started like sending beats out to, rappers in Philly, trying to climb the ladder of production. And that was like a whole 2 or 3 years of my life.
Oh, wow.
And then it just somehow led back here. I'm here because of production though, for sure.
Okay. So you're cutting, you're just making beats and selling them to people? Yeah.
So I learned how to record, and that was my job for a while. I used to just record rappers and make their beats. And kind of, do a deal or just like try and get placements. And that it ended up leading to a few placements, but yeah, that's how I like had a job. That was my job, I guess, for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess it still is my job, honestly.
I was going to say, I think, aren't you still kind of doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just different, different place and different kind of motive with it.
Right. So you're doing that in Philly.
Back then it was like, yeah.
Yeah, so you're there. You're in Philly. You're making beats for different rappers and stuff. What was the first like big break for you?
I guess there's this rapper in Philly called PNB Rock. I remember I started getting tight with them, and he came through, and we worked on a bunch of songs. And then that was like this, you know how there's always like a small one before like the actual one. That's the small one that was like, oh wow, it's leading up to something. And then I was able to do Meek's intro on his last project, and that was like the big, like, this dude does production. Let's have people work with him. You know what I mean? That was like what started, like, not just in my house, like bigger artists, I would say.
I saw you had a picture on your Instagram. You got the platinum plaque for it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That was. Thank you, man. It was scary. I didn't know if it was going to happen or not. Like, you have to keep your fingers crossed for shit like that, I feel like.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, like, how'd you get that opportunity? Just from the PNB Rock stuff?
Well, that stuff, you know, helps out your resume. You know what I mean? More people know who you are in your city for production. And then I became friends with one of Meek's, like, regular producers. And I was making a lot of what you do a lot in the production world, especially now. It wasn't like that when I first started. So I guess in the last like 3 years, maybe, you make like half the beat. So a good way for someone like me who knows theory to kind of get in with people is you make the melodic part of the beat. You just send the whole part that's not drums and then just get someone to add drums. Oh. Like, imagine being an original sample. You know what I mean? Like, people sample and just add drums to it. Imagine you made the original sample, so you don't have to pay so-and-so for the song that they made however long ago. It's just like yours.
Got it.
Yeah, it's just all the music behind it. And that's like what you give to other producers who might be bigger, and then they have the drums they add onto it.
Got it. Okay, so you submitted that part to his like regular producer, and they used it.
Yeah, for the intro itself, since it's a Phil Collins sample, what happened, we were making a lot of different original stuff together, just kind of building our rapport together, I guess, and sending stuff to other artists. And then I remember he hit me up and he's like, yo, Meek wants to sample Phil Collins for this album. Can you add these parts to it and like do some stuff and just pretty much do you? And I was like, hell yeah. What the heck? And then, you know, thankfully they used it, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Man, tell me about getting that plaque in the mail, or how were you presented with it?
It's what's crazy is I think everybody but the artist, you actually have to like sign up for it. So I remember I saw people getting them and I was like, yo, what the heck? I gotta see what I can do. I'm like purposely trying not to curse for some reason right now. I have no idea why. It was my second time saying heck.
You can cuss. I don't. Yeah.
All right, cool.
If you want.
Yeah,
it's really here. You can say whatever you want.
I probably said heck. I probably said heck more times today than I have in the last like 2 years.
Oh, but, yeah. Doing a lot of press.
No, I just right now. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It's only been this only in that I've said it.
Only the past 20 minutes I've said heck more times than in my whole life.
Yeah, right. I've been on my best behavior. But yeah, so I saw that like it went gold or whatever. Like all the producers, like we all were sharing that it went, you know, gold, and then like platinum. I guess by then I knew how to do it. And then I saw how they were all getting them, and I just asked, and then they sent it to you.
That's cool. Wow. What a validating moment, I'm sure.
It's kind of weird though, man. Like I feel like I just really want one for one of my friends that I produce for, or myself for my own stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely very lucky in it. And, you know, I'm grateful for it, but it just makes you want more. It's like when you get used to something, you just want to get the next thing. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like just motivating me to want to keep going.
Sure. And that was from last year. That was his record from last year. Yeah,
it was either last year or the year before. I can't remember. I think it was like right before the turn of the year, so probably last year, or like December.
And then when did you start doing No Love for the Middle Child? Right around that time?
Yeah, so I always made songs, I guess, with little direction, and I met my manager through, I don't know if you know Zero, 0936. I do all of his production, and we have the same manager. And, you know, when they heard my songs, you know, I guess we kind of started figuring out a way to roll it out. So I always dreamed of putting out music again, you know, but I wasn't sure if it would ever have like a home really. And then like doing, you know, rap production, but playing cello and stuff, it was hard for me to pinpoint like what am I going for when I sing, you know? So we kind of figured that out together, and that was, I guess, July of last year or June or something like that.
You said that
some warm month.
Yeah. When did you first start writing like full songs? Pretty young? Like, oh yeah, you wrote in those bands, right? When you played in like the punk bands and stuff? Okay.
So probably like 7th grade. But I mean, probably nothing was very good at all, but.
Got it. This new project is you, because you did the band and touring and then you started writing the beats for people in Philly. And this is kind of like you coming back and doing your own thing again.
Right. Yeah. Cool. And it kind of feels like me pulling from both. Like it feels like I'm just writing a song like how I used to, but then I get to produce it like it's rap, but treat it like it's not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's fun.
What was the first song that you wrote for No Love for the Middle Child? Then
I think what it was when I finally decided what style to go for. Mm-hmm. 'Cause, I had like a bunch of pop style songs I'd written, R&B, I guess folky too. It kind of turned into I dropped a song called Frozen on my last project. That's actually like a 2-year-old song before I was middle child, but I decided to go in and kind of give it that Tom Petty, like sax acoustic thing. You know what I mean? It's like a different instrumental, but I'd say the first song I really made for middle child was, it's a song that's out now called You Know That. Mm-hmm. I just remember making it and being like, this feels right. Like this is the rap style drums that I like to do and that specific genre within rap, but with these like Blondie or the Clash style guitars. It just kind of felt like the right thing for me to be doing. And it was easier to write than most songs I did. So I guess just being natural, that was the first thing that was like, yeah, this is something I'm going to go for.
Is that the first song you ended up releasing?
No, it's the song called Promise was the first. That was the second.
Oh, okay. Promises was the first. Was it like scary or exciting to put that song out as a first project?
It was scary.
Was it?
Dude, it was scary as hell. Yeah, just because I thought that I was going to start a new Instagram page for it, because I was kind of scared to take this jump. I feel like when being a producer, my bad, I'm trying to get my thought together. Being a producer is like you have value to other people more often because you offer a service to an artist and it kind of gets you in room. It's like being a writer or something. Like you're providing something for someone who is bigger or whatever. It can just help you faster, I feel like. And then when you're an artist, you kind of have to fend for yourself,
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't start a new Instagram because I don't know, me and my manager decided ultimately, like, fuck it, like, why not keep the same page if you spend this time building it?
Right.
But in my mind, I was like, everybody knows me for exactly, but I'm a big like proponent of like trying to pay attention to why people are following you or like what people want from you. And you choose whether or not you want to listen, obviously, but all these people knew me as a rap producer. And, I'm not making rap music either. So it was like me kind of taking a leap and being like, will people even like this? And then I also changed my name. Like it was just my name before, and I changed it to No Love for the Middle Child on my Instagram. And I actually recently decided that all my production would also be under No Love for the Middle Child instead of my old name. So like now cool. I'm fully committing to everything, but it was definitely a slow journey of me just being like, it's time to give up what I was doing. Cause when you work for so long and hard on something, it's hard to kind of like put a different hat on it,
Right. Yeah, totally. And then, like you said, people might be going to your page for the production stuff that you had done in the past and then being confused or, but now you
right. And my page used to be the hub of like, bro, do you have studio time? And I'd be like, yep. And then book it, like it was really like a business page in that way.
Right.
So to like kind of switch gears was scary, but I'm honestly unbelievably happy I did it. I like can't be more grateful for my manager for helping that stuff happen.
That's awesome. And are you still producing for people too? Just kind of doing both?
Yeah, absolutely. There's still like a bunch of artists more in the rock lane that I readily make beats for. And then I do a lot of the melody stuff I was talking about where I'll send out melodies to, different producers I've met along the way. And then I will just make rap beats for fun. And I have some people that I can get them to. But as I said, melodies are the more, I won't say lucrative because it's not just money wise. It's the best like building. Like you build a community when you do that with other producers and people with the same goals as you.
Yeah.
So I still do that for sure.
Cool. So tell me about my wife is a huge fan of yours. She usually does this podcast with me, but due to COVID and all that fun stuff, she's watching our two kids in the other room. But I remember she had No Love for the, she had your song Come Through on a playlist of hers. Like it had to be over a year ago. And we were listening to it, and
that's dope.
Yeah, like I don't know how she discovered it, but when she found out, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like you're gonna talk to him." Like she's a huge fan. But that song has a ton of
awesome.
like over 2 million plays on Spotify. Was that song like playlisted, or did it get like radio play? Like how did that song get so successful?
It might have gone like some indie-ish radio play. It was playlisted though, and it got on New Music Friday, I think, as well. So it just, I feel like that's a good way to get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. I did not expect like any of it. I couldn't believe it. You get like the little counter thing on Spotify for the first week that it comes out, and I guess I set very low goals because, as I said, I was scared when I first started trying to go for this.
Yeah.
So then it was already going better than I thought. And then that song dropped. And dude, I was just like looking at this number go. I was like, I need to stop looking at this because
did it become like an obsession?
Yeah. Because it just becomes so easy. It's like definitely not healthy to do. And I knew in my mind, like, yo, this is not going to be how every release is. You got to calm down and not get used to it.
Yeah, just keep watching the spins go up.
Yeah, dude.
Refresh.
It's really addicting. Right.
That's awesome, though. 100%. I mean, damn, to have that many. I mean, millions. And I feel plays, like that's killer.
Right. It's like it's interesting because like just it depends on nowadays the hit that it first has. Like there's like a resurgence sometimes, but if it can get a really good like first push, then it just will keep building because it'll just naturally be in the system for more people to hear, I feel like. So that song just happened to have an amazing first start. And it's also with that dude Zero I was saying. He's the other artist on the song that I make his music.
Oh, okay.
I make all his beats for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good following too. So it was really good. I'm grateful to be a part of that song.
Yeah. It's a great song too. I mean, I love all your stuff. And like I said, my wife's a huge fan, and she's the one that turned me on to that song originally. So you have a new EP coming out, in a few hours tonight. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the EP. Yeah. I want to hear all about it.
Well, it's another 3 songs. I've been doing like 3 songs each project and trying to drop more often with less on each project. You know what I mean? Just like pick a theme and kind of run with it. I think if you guys Come Through, you might like this one song on there called Wasting Time. It's probably the most like energetic song I have so far.
Okay.
But yeah, I just feel like each song is kind of like the last one where they all go different ways, and I'm trying to like push farther on what each of those songs would be each time. So it's kind of just like the last one, but I think trying to dig deeper.
Nice. Very cool. Have you had a chance to play? Have you done shows as No Love for the Middle Child?
Not yet, and I can't wait to do it. I've only done like personal, like acoustic or live loop stuff on my own because of quarantine.
Yeah,
but not like actual live.
Got it. Yeah. Did you have? I'm sure you probably had some sort of schedule around the release. Did you have like a tour and stuff you were planning?
Not yet, actually. We were gonna tour for Come Through because Zero had gotten on a tour for himself with this group called Unlikely Candidates, and
okay, yeah, I know that.
Their music like isn't super heavy at all, and sometimes his music will lean that way, so it made sense to kind of make it like Come Through the focus for that. So I was going to go out and sing that, and then just play on drums for the rest of the set, just to sub in.
Oh, cool.
So that got canceled. But it's kind of cool though, because quarantine was terrible for sure in a lot of ways, but it kind of just makes you have to prepare more for things. I'm kind of glad that I'm dropping more music before shows. I can really think about like what band members I would want, like what instrumentalists and stuff like that, or how I would tackle it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead of diving right in.
Right. You can now kind of more strategically plan out how you how you want to go about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate your time. This is awesome.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you even wanting to interview me. So that's
dude,
dope.
Of course.
You said this is a podcast, right? Like is it being recorded right now?
Yeah. Yeah, we're recording.
How does it work? That's fire.
Yeah, we've been rolling.
I had no idea.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, sick. Hell yeah.
Tell me about working with Grandson.
Okay.
I love that guy's record.
Dude, he's so good, man. Yeah, he's fire. Like probably one of the nicest guys I know, and he's really smart. So anytime we work together, it's just awesome. We've made, I guess, 2 songs that are out. There's like another like beat idea that we had from another session, but yeah, it's just awesome. We have the same manager as well.
Oh, okay. That's how you got kind of linked up with him.
Yeah, that's how we first did our session too. But I think I knew him for a little bit before we started working, which is dope. It's kind of dope to like get to know somebody first too.
Yeah. Rad.
It just makes the process very organic.
Nice. Are you so you're at the studio now? Are you working on other people's stuff? Or are you working on your own?
Today is for mine actually. So I have this EP coming out, and then we're trying to like, you have to do a lot of planning. So you have to have the music like completely done months before stuff. I really want to make sure I stay on top of that so I can keep giving out more and more music, So we're finishing up one of the songs. It's going to be like my first release with extra producers and people on there, which is dope.
Awesome. That's really exciting, man. I can't wait to hear the EP tonight and a few hours from now. And
same,
again,
man. I hope you like it.
Yeah, man. Again, thanks for chatting with me today. My last question is, I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Yes, that's a good question. And knocked me off my heels for a second. Let me think. I think the main thing is patience. Like that's the best advice. It might sound annoying at first, so I guess I'll explain it a little bit because that's not what I would have wanted to hear. It'll always take a little longer than you think, but if you are willing to learn and listen and actively try and better yourself, there's literally no way you're going to fail. Like I feel like with anything in life, if you keep pushing, but not in a way where, as I said earlier, I was making a lot of stuff all the time, but the quality wasn't as good. And now I try and just work when I really want to and I'm inspired. I feel like that just lends itself to better stuff. And the more quality things you can make and learn from other people and build relationships, like it's going to work out. You just have to know that in your heart and just have the patience to push through.